Weekday Group Show with the one and only 1L Michelle Cummins and me, Curtis Pope. How are you doing, Michelle?
I'm doing excellent. It is so good to hear your voice again after a week long.
Well, it's been a while since we've had you in the studio. So far, in fact, I've lost count to how many weeks we've been doing this, but eventually we will get the office reopened to outsiders.
Me too. I'm not even counting anymore.
All the days kind of blurred together at this point. It is Saturday, right?
I think so.
Okay, good. I want to make sure we're on the same page, at least on what day it is. So how's your week gone since we haven't talked in a week?
It has been busy. It is crazy. It hasn't lit up, or lightened up real estate and life in general. It's been really good. I mean, I was really happy for a few kind of cooler days this week, just weather-wise for my plants, because I don't have a green thumb, and I really needed to keep them watered, and I was really having a hard time doing that. So I'm glad for the natural rain the last few days.
Excellent. So, yeah, a little bit of rain is a good thing sometimes.
It is sometimes.
And of course, you just celebrated your birthday last week, so I hope that the weekend was good to you.
It was. Oh, my gosh. It's been just visit after visit. And so it's been really good, and I'm really happy. And so that's a good thing. A client of mine was like, she was funny. She was saying, I was just out to dinner a couple nights ago, actually, Richard and I, with clients that turned friends. And we went to the Greek islands in Chilliwack, and it was so good. We were there for 4 hours. We closed the place down, and that's not unusual. But George, he's from England, and he has such great stories and real, like, history. Jana and him both they've done a lot. And they've had an amazing life. And so he was sharing, because he actually helped build, because he's from England, he helped build Abbey Road. He, like, literally, the big doors that are so heavy, hinges they would break. Like, if they couldn't hold up the doors. So he was telling us the way they keep them locked, or like with the, what do you call it, the hook at the bottom of the floor. And like, yeah, he was telling us some stories there, and that was really cool. And his dad or grandpa actually helped make the Titanic.
Oh, wow.
He put the rivets. He was in charge of putting the rivets in the Titanic.
Well, I don't know if you want to admit to that, even 100 years later.
It's pretty amazing. I know. He put too many rivets in it is what happened. But he's like such a craftsman, like a wood, like he works with wood. He's such a carpenter. He made me, like, his house is amazing. I helped him sell their place, which is an amazing place in Mission. And they moved to Chilliwack, and it's amazing what he's been doing with that place and what Jana's done. But it's just so creative, and he made me, and I didn't even know, he made me these steps, these stools that are all handcrafted, one of a kind, and they're as strong as an ox. You know those, like, stepping stools, like if your cabinet's too high or whatever, if you want to use them. Well, oh my gosh, they're beautiful, and so I have them, and I think I'm gonna maybe laser my get Jim to laser my logo in them and then give them out.
Oh, cool!
Client gifts, handmade. They're so neat.
Very cool.
I want to do that, but yeah, she was. We were chatting, and yeah, it was a good old time, and. Have you watched, I was wondering, because my sister, Jana, had mentioned, hey, Michelle, have you seen these shows? And I'm like, no, but you're my sister. And then somebody else told me about this show called Yellowstone, and I still haven't seen it. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't. I've been to Yellowstone many years ago.
Yeah, I can't even remember going, but I think I did too. And it's such a big place, like, to go to. But supposedly this show that many people have told me about now is really good and visually fantastic. Like, the visuals are amazing and beautiful.
Yeah, I bet it would be. Is it like a nature show, or?
I think so. I don't know. Everyone's just so about the beauty of the show. Not as much the storyline, but
interesting.
What it's about. I haven't even looked it up.
Interesting. I may have to look that one up myself this weekend.
I wanted to ask you, Curtis. Okay, so RE/MAX headquarters is in Denver, Colorado, and our CEO does these weekly videos from his home office. He's been doing them since COVID started, and he also has a podcast for RE/MAX and, you know, any realtors, and he just puts it out there for everyone, of course. And he starts, though, like, he always asks, you know, how do you start your day with a win? And I was going to ask you this morning, Curtis. So how do you start your day with a win?
A cup of coffee. Getting that cup of coffee in my hand is that first victory of the day.
Oh, that's great. Okay, do you take it black or with cream and sugar?
I take it black. I take it black and bitter like my wife's heart.
Oh, Kelly.
That's an ironic joke. It's not true. I always say it's a complete opposite, but I've been using that joke for so long. My daughter actually has ordered me coffee that way. Even when she was younger, she'd walk up and she'd order coffee. She's like 7. She's getting an ice cap or something. She goes, "Can I get an ice cap and a coffee? How do you want your coffee?" "Black and bitter like my mom's heart."
Oh, what you learn from your parents. I tell you.
And it was funny watching the people and, just killing themselves laughing, going, "Okay."
Oh, my goodness. Oh, it's a lot of fun. You got to laugh in life.
Exactly.
That is so important. We got to laugh at ourselves.
And I don't mean it. It's a complete, like I said, it's actually the complete opposite. My wife is a very loving, caring person, and that's the irony of the joke. It's an ironic joke.
I know. She so is. I love her. And she has great hair, too.
Well, she's making fun of mine enough. She really wants me to get mine cut.
I don't know if you should listen to her or not, though.
Well, I put 8 months of growing into this now. It seems like kind of, I'm like halfway there.
Long hair rules.
There you go. See?
I love it. Oh, do you want to hear about the July market statistics?
Well, I'm sure I do, because I'm sure people are tired of hearing about my hair and about some of the stuff we've been talking about. They're going, "Get to the real estate, you two."
It's hard to, though. When we don't talk for a week.
I know.
So, okay, July stats. Here we go. Okay, put your, headphones on.
I am listening intently to find out where we're at.
So, the Fraser Valley Real Estate Board's MLS system, so this is all registered stuff, right? So, obviously, there's more sales, there's exclusive, there's all this other, but the actual bread and butter, the black and white truth of the matter, everything that's been reported, at least through the MLS, saw the second highest number of both property sales and listings ever recorded in July.
Wow.
When last week we said it was been hot market, we're not kidding. It's been hot weather and a hot market. Chris Shields is our president at the board, and he says, in the context of the current pandemic environment, our market is significantly ahead of what we anticipated. We're seeing market conditions representing a seller's market for townhomes and single-family homes in the Fraser Valley. For example, in North Delta, Cloverdale, Langley, Abbotsford, and Mission, for every 100 active detached listings, 40 or more sold in July. So that's pretty amazing. He says we could attribute it to the continued pent-up demand from what would have been a strong spring market for us and clearly near record-setting low interest rates. Buyers should take note that in some of our communities, the lack of supply and increase in demand is putting upward pressure on home prices. The average price of a detached home in our region set a record high in July, last set 2 years ago during the same month. And I want to put a note in there that the real estate stats that I'm going through now, if you see the graph, it is, okay, the highest prices for detached homes in the Fraser Valley was in 2017. And we have been in our second highest price year, but July bumped us up higher than even prices in 2017. So we are now, in July, have the highest prices for detached home sales. And I know we talked last week, even about, I think it was last week or the week before, about, the micro mansions being more popular and people, because of the pandemic, wanting just more space and, kind of going that route rather than buying the small condos that we've been seeing. So it's pretty amazing. And then Baldeep Gill, which is our chief executive officer at the board, he says the real estate profession has worked hard to make the buying and selling process safe during this pandemic, and consumers have responded. Homeownership is a prudent long-term investment strategy that isn't as vulnerable to short-term fluctuations. And in this period of economic uncertainty, it's encouraging to see the strong demand currently for the Fraser Valley real estate. And then in July, so now let's talk about the days on market, because they're pretty quick. The average number of days to sell in a condo was 34, to sell a townhouse was 28, and to sell a single-family detached was only 34 days.
Wow.
And, yeah, pretty quick. Single-family detached benchmark price for the whole Fraser Valley is at $1,008,000. And for townhomes, it's $563,200, and for condos, it's $437,300. So that's for the whole Fraser Valley. Now, I haven't been paying attention to time, Curtis, but do we have time to go into municipality by municipality as their size?
Well, it depends. How quick can we do them?
Okay, I can do it quick. Abbotsford, detached. Benchmark price is at $831,600. That's up 2.9% from last year and up 1.2% from the month before that. Townhouses in Abbotsford, $462,800, up 2.1% from last year and 1.5% from last month. And condos, $322,200, up 2.4% from last year and 0% from month before. Mission's benchmark prices for detached is at $688,500, up 5.4% from last year and up 0.2% from last month. Townhouses in Mission, $455,900. That's up 1.9% from last year and down 2% from month before. Condos in Mission are at $352,900, which is down 1.9% from last year, but up 0.2% from last month. And then White Rock, Surrey, detached benchmark price is $1,370,700, up 2.8% from last year, and from the month before, 2.6%. Townhouses are at $660,700. That's up 3.9% and up 0.9% from the month before. And condos, $485,600. That's down 1.5%, but up 0.1% from last month. And then Langley benchmark prices for detached at $1,061,700. That's up 8% from last year and up 1.7% from last month. Townhouses, $576,900, up 3.4% from last year and 0.4% from the month before. Condos, $399,000, up 3.6% from last year and 0.1% from the month before. And Delta, detached homes are at $934,800. That's up 6.1% from last year and 1.7% from the month before. Townhouses are at $570,000. That's down 1.8% from last year, but up 3% from the month before. Condos are at $389,000, up 3.7%, but down 1.5% from the month before. And then Surrey, benchmark prices for detached is $1,105,900, up 5.1% from last year and 1.5% from the month before. Townhouses at $586,500, which is up 3.7% from last year and 0.5% from last month. And condos, $404,400, up 5% from last year and 1% from the month before. I hope everyone heard their area and their type of property in my fast motion. And again, highest price ever right now in July. And yes, it's the seller's market. So there we have it.
Take a breath, will ya?
I don't need to breathe.
All right, well, people might need more information from you. If they do, where do they get a hold of you?
MichelleCummins.ca.
And we are back with segment number 2 of the Cummins Real Estate Group show with Michelle Cummins. Now, Michelle, we got through the stats. So what do we got for the second half of the show?
Well, I wanted to talk about mountain neighbors.
Are you moving to the mountains now?
I'm always on top of a mountain somewhere in my mind. So, living on the mountain, it is pretty prestigious. And when you look at like prices, it literally goes up when the elevation goes up. I mean, in Mission, you look at every street that goes up, its value goes up a little bit more for the same exact product, right? Oranges to oranges, but up a street, the value goes up as you go up. Same thing in Abbotsford. We've got beautiful Lower Sumas Mountain. We got great Glen Mountain and Eagle Mountain. And so I wanted to talk about the mountains. But before we go to that, I wanted to say that I posted it on my blog, and it's in my newsletter going out today, that there's this video from Thrive Mortgage, partners of mine, about refinancing your investment property. Should you do it or not? And it is a great video that they have out, and there's some really good tips in it. But right now with the low interest rates, and they're going to be like this, they say, for a few years, probably at least a couple of years. But right now they're so good. Really, if you can take advantage of it, you can save, literally, for an example, by refinancing, you can also change your amortization period. You can actually lower your payments by a couple $100 while putting $50,000 or $80,000 either into a new investment or use it to improve your current investment, or, do what you want with it. So there's some great tips in that video. So I wanted to mention that. But going back to the mountain neighbors, Richard and I were driving around, of course, in our General Lee last week, and
just casually throw that in. What, Knight Rider was in the shop?
Literally, Knight Rider is still dusty in our garage, but Richard said this month it's going, this guy is actually going to come to our place. He's going to pull it out and he's going to actually work on it here at our place, and he's going to fix it. He says it should be fixed before the end of this month, and hopefully we can take that out, and we're going to go straight to you. You're going to jump in and drive it, Curtis.
Oh, you better believe it. I'm going to do my hair like David Hasselhoff and get the leather coat.
Yeah, keep it long.
That is a dream come true. That was one of my dream cars. Now, if you got an A-Team van too, we'd be set.
Oh, we know somebody who does.
Of course you do.
We're definitely going to have to we'll do a video of it. So I'm we also just picked up our Supernatural. It was just getting kind of an overhaul check done on it. And so we pick it up from 360 Fabrications in Abbotsford, which is an amazing shop. And the guys there are so good. They do such a good job. And so we pick it up, and I'm driving in the needle. I'm driving the Supernatural. Richard's driving the Generally, and the needle shows full. And I'm all, okay, we're good on gas. And then all of a sudden, I'm entering an intersection, and it, just dead. And I'm all, what? It was driving so good. And then the car Richard was behind me. There was a car behind him who honked. And I'm waving out the window, big trouble. And so Richard's like, what? He comes up and, I don't know. So he checks under the hood. Oh, it's the gas. So the Impala, I guess the needle, when it's empty, sometimes it's kind of gets stuck and then pops back up to full, I guess. So anyways, there we look over to the left and there's a gas station right there. Not Chevron like we like, but anyways, beggars can't be, choosers. So we needed gas. So Richard goes and gets a little gas thing, and he comes out with this little gas tank, and he's like, well, I'm just right there. Can I borrow one? And they're like, that'll be $15.99, sir. But I'm just right there. So he put it in, and he comes out with this little puny thing, and I go, Richard, that's not going to be enough to get me into that driveway. I'm thinking it's literally 10 feet away. And he's all, it'll be plenty. So we get it started. He closes the hood. Okay. And I was directing traffic, of course, next to the Generally. And you can imagine the discussions we had with people as they drove by. And, all of a sudden I get in and I'm like, Richard's backing up. He has to. You're not allowed to on the road, but he has to. I can't make it. I know I'm not going to make it with this gas. So a police officer stops just in time. And I go, yes, thank you. And so as I'm turning, and I had to back up a bit because it didn't have the turning radius I needed. And all of a sudden, it literally dies again.
Oh, no.
And that was really good gas he put in. But you know what? It doesn't last very long when you have a big gas guzzler vehicle like the Impala with such an awesome engine. So anyways, I yell out the window, push me. And so the police officer, very nice man, and Richard is pushing the Impala, pushing me into the gas station. And so it was great. He helped us out there. But anyways, I digressed to a side story. But as we're driving around and having a great time, but it's always so nice when you're driving up mountains and hillsides, and it just affords you so much beautiful views and just a different vantage point because you're up, you're high, you see more, you get to appreciate more because you're seeing more. So the Mountain Neighbors is an actual magazine that goes out to every single household in those areas. So Eagle Mountain, Glen Mountain, and Lower Sumas Mountain. And it's actually a newer magazine. It's a community magazine. It's unlike any magazine I've seen, except for my sister actually has one down in like the Lodi area of California. And it's specifically for their community. So this is a really cool magazine that I decided I wanted to help out with. So I have an article in it next month that I'm putting in just to share some insight for the neighbors there. And I know one of my mortgage partners, gives some content to it and advertises in it as well. And a lot of local service providers that work in the area contribute to the magazine. But what's really cool about it is the local homeowners, the community. It's all about community. And there's one family that has a featured story and gets on the front of the magazine every month. So it's really neat to learn about, if they run a business or what their family dynamics are, just whatever they want to share. And it just is really great for the community. So I just wanted to share about that. And in the magazine is also the listings in the area, which is really cool. One of the other contributors is Simpson Notaries, and a few others that I work with as well. But they got calendar of events for the area, and so it's just really, really great. I just love community when you can connect with your community in that way, which is really unique. So Mountain Neighbors, there's some really great listings in the Mountain Neighbor area. So if anybody wants to see what's available or wants to keep up on what's selling or anything, I'm happy to send you or set you up on an alert so you know what's going on there. So I wanted to talk about all of that. And my new listing, I wanted to mention, I've got a fourplex in Mission that just went live yesterday. It is at 33545 2nd Avenue, and it's priced at $1,148,600, and it's fully rented. It's perfect for an investor or someone who also wants to live in maybe one portion of it and keep the other 3 rented. I have a special realtor and investor event this Thursday from 12:30 to 2, and I'm going to have appetizers and some cold drinks and door prize. So come out if you're looking for an investment. It's not up in the mountains, but it is close to Heritage Park. You can walk to the West Coast Express train. You can. It's a really good location, and you can actually build out and make it into a 6-plex. And the future of it is multifamily, higher density. So there's everything good about this property. There's a huge side yard right now, just completely open and available for either to make that 6-plex or an extra garage or workshop. Let's have you. It's amazing. And then I've got coming soon, I've got this amazing newer home. I say amazing because it's really unique. The homeowners built it after, like they build and live in their homes, and then they get excited to build another one, and then they build it and live in it for a few years, and then they get excited and do another one. So this is one they thought for sure this was going to be their last one, they said. And they absolutely love it. But now they have to move out of the area for other reasons. But so it's really beautiful. It's also got 2 perfect Airbnb units in the basement. So it's a rancher, but with this full walkout daylight basement with these 2 Airbnb units that also could be combined as one. And what's really unique is that it's right on the government green space. So it's surrounded by government land, trails right out the door, lots of good trails, and the river is right there. So that's partly why it would make such a great Airbnb. So it's coming up later this week, or next week, I should say, and listing at $848,000. And then the other new listing coming up later next week is a new Westminster 1-bedroom condo. It's right near the SkyTrain, and one of the best new gyms and games rooms and areas for that kind of like get together that I've actually seen in the complex, with a cool rooftop, just hangout place, and it's just beautiful. It's on the 3rd floor, and it's priced at $439,800. So those are my coming soon. And today I'm actually going to be at an open house, and it's a new listing of mine off Millstone. I'm going to be there from 2 to 4, and it's at 34831 Millstone. It's East Abbotsford. It's a large home backing onto green space and a creek, so very private, and it's in a cul-de-sac. priced at $998,000. And then the other open houses I'm having actually today and tomorrow, same thing with Millstone. This one I'm not going to be at, but I have some co-hosts or hosts that are doing it for me, some colleagues. And it's going to be between 1 and 3, and the address is 2174 Dolphin in Abbotsford. Large lot, huge garage, so car bus, and if you like your toys, this is great parking. Private backyard. The house is fully renovated. It's a rancher with basement, and it's priced at $889,900.
All right. Well, so there's lots going on this weekend.
Yes, and I want to say happy 1 month new home anniversary to Rita and Albert. Their new home in Mission. It's beautiful, and they got new blinds, and it looks great. It's fantastic. And I don't know. I want to my quote of the week, Curtis.
Uh-huh.
You know, next week I should get you to come up with the quote of the week. You want to do that?
I can do that.
Awesome. Okay, so this week, I'm looking forward to that, is there is no passion found playing small in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. And that's Nelson Mandela.
Ah, very nice indeed. Very nice. Well, if people want to get more information from you, what can they do?
MichelleCummins.ca.
And once again, join us again next week when we will talk real estate in order to unlock your real estate potential on a show where real estate is maximized. Thanks for listening.